So with this Red Sea aquarium, we've got a very large return pump on it at the moment, and it's shooting quite a lot of water out. We want this surface agitated as much as possible. Now, in order to make these things quiet, what we're going to do is go to this tap, and we're going to open the tap right up, and then we're just going to leave that for an hour or so. Then we're just going to close it just a little bit, then leave it for an hour or so, and just decide whether you think that made it any quieter. The other thing to remember is at the start, all of the pipes are new, and there's no bacterial slime on the inside of the pipe, so there's a lot of friction, so it's always going to be noisy at the start. You've got to give it time to settle down. Then the next thing we do is just close it off a little bit more, leave it an hour. You've got to give it time. And then what we don't want is this level going up, because if you close that off too much and you've got too much flow going up and this level goes up, then you're in trouble. So then you need to open this back up again and start again. And if you're not happy with the sound, then you do have to actually turn your pump down. Because if you end up with too much flow going through the pipes, and the pipes don't want to accept that much flow, then you might want to just turn it down. So we've got it on full right now just to see how it goes. And we're going to be nice and patient, and we're going to let it set itself. And then over time, we understand it'll get quieter. Now, just get that mounted up there nicely. So once again, we just got to give it time and just play with this valve. And if you're not happy with the sound, you do have to turn it down a bit until you get a nice sound you're happy with. You can get these tanks pretty quiet. Now, setting a skimmer is very much like setting this. You need to be patient. So the first thing that we want to do is make sure there's plenty of air getting in our skimmer. And then what we really want is the white froth to stay in the neck. Now, if the white froth is coming out, then we have two options. One is to open this valve at the bottom by spinning this, open that up so more water can go out, or raise the skimmer. So if we put some marine pure underneath it or something, so the skimmer is raised up, then that's going to keep the froth level lower. On the other hand, if the froth level is too low and you've got yellow froth that's staying in the neck, then you've either got to close this valve, close the gate valve, or you need to lower it if it is elevated. Because what we really want is white froth staying in the neck. We want yellow froth coming out. So we just use the tap and we use the amount of air going into it in order to achieve that. And as long as we have white froth in the neck, that means the skimmer's working, and yellow froth when it builds up has to come out. Now the next thing we need to be aware of is that in here you're going to build up fatty acids, and it will only take a couple of days for that to build up, and the skimmer will not work efficiently. So what you really want to do with your skimmer is clean the inside of this neck. So even if you get a little bottle brush, you give that a clean, and then when it starts filling up, then you take the cap off and empty it. Just turn the pump up on the skimmer, and it's skimming very nicely now, because you need to give the skimmer time. So what's best is to have the outlet fully open, turn the skimmer on full, then if it's over skimming, then you've got to turn the pump down. Then if it's not skimming enough, then you need to, and it's on full, you need to start shutting the valve, because you need to either play with the output of the pump, the amount of air, or the gate valve with the air coming out to make sure your skimmer's right, so you're happy with it. And you make small adjustments, you go away for a while, then you come back, because they take time to settle. And you try and clean the inside of the neck twice a week if it's going yellow. So next time we come, we'll clean up all the wires, but for now we've got a working skimmer, we've got a working return pump, we've got a working top-up system, and the next thing we need to do is get a heater in there. But what we need to do is make sure we trust the heater, because we definitely don't want to put a heater in this aquarium if we don't trust it, because there was one that was giving him grief. So the way you test it is get like a 20-litre bucket, put a thermometer in the bucket, and then put the heater on it, and then make sure that the temperature is staying at a good temperature, and make sure that you're happy with the heater is working efficiently before you go putting it in here. Because we really don't want to set up a nice tank like this with a heater that we don't trust. So really now we just got to give this tank a little bit of time to biologically stabilize. We can then start looking at, let's say, sometime soon, either putting a bit of live rock in or putting a pair of fish in, like just some tank bred clownfish or something like that. And then you wait a full month after the tank bred clownfish have gone in, and make sure that the salt level is on the low side when you put the clownfish in. Then we give the clownfish a month. Then we can consider putting some more fish in. Then we wait a month. Then we can put some more fish in and wait a month, and make sure that we're happy with the fish and there's no sign of disease before we think about putting new fish in. We've also got to sort out the lights, make sure the lights are on. And then once we're all happy and we've bring a water sample to the shop a few times and everything's nice and stable, we can then consider putting corals in the tank.